Welcome back to the game room. Didn't think I'd have anything to show you for this video, but it turned out, or I didn't think I'd have much, but it turned out to be a really good few pickups at a few different shops and things. Not all gaming related, but I'll get to those ones soon. These 4 Wii games found at the op shop just recently. $2. I'll just zoom in on that. They were each $2. So $2 for 4 Wii games, not too bad. This one will go to the arcade shooter machine that we have. I don't think it's a very good game. I actually have the box and the guns for this one already, but not the 3D glasses. Not that I'm too concerned about that. For $2 I can stay with the arcade shooter machine. And then these 3, I knew this one was worth a little bit of money in the Ocean 2. This one, Wild West Shootout, came with the manual and the discs are in great condition, but the rest did. Sorry, these 2 did not come with the manual. So Endless Ocean 2 Adventures of the Deep. I hear that this one's a pretty good game, but I don't have an interest in playing this one, so I might as well move it on. Disc only for that one. Again, really good condition disc, and the case is in good condition as well. Monopoly, I was going to leave this one and Trivial Pursuit behind. So I didn't think they had any value. And then while my son and I were in the op shop, I did a quick look to see if they did, and they surprised me actually. These ones go for a little bit of money. Around about $15 for Monopoly, so that would be a good flip if I can get somewhere close to that. I normally try and go a bit lower than the lowest game that's already on eBay, so probably end up selling that one for hopefully around $12.50. We'll see how we go. This one, Trivial Pursuit, has already sold. So this one, $19.99, so $20. It is sealed, so somebody jumped on that one super quick. I only had it up for less than a day, and they were obviously somebody who was keen on getting this game new. Don't know if they were for collecting purposes or just because they knew that it would work and work well, but it's completely sealed. I'm posting that one today, so that's why I'm shooting like this instead of with the tripod. And as I said, the Wild West will go to the Shooter Arcade, which is just behind here. Just wheel these out of the way. We'll go to the Shooter Arcade. So just another addition to that. I've got a few little additions to this one recently, which has been good. Hopefully you've seen the Wii games that I've picked up from the op shop, and so I'll try and make sure I put that little clip in first because some of those games have sold off. So hopefully you've seen that, and here's some others. Where to start? Alright, I'll start off with some things that I got. I'll start off with some things that I got in some of the local op shops. So around the Gold Coast. I've mentioned it before, but that's where I find most of my things, around the Gold Coast. Mainly at the back or inland, a little bit from the main stretch along the beach. So I found these 2 games at the op shop. I don't get anything PlayStation 3 related usually. It has to be a really good deal. I don't know my prices on PlayStation 3. I don't have an interest in owning any of the PlayStation 3 stuff. Just preference. I normally go for Xbox 360 rather than the PlayStation 3 release. But I did find these for a good price just to sell and get some money for some other things that I'd like to have around here. So Transformers Revenge of the Fallen. I've currently put that one up on the internet or up on eBay for, what did I put it up for? I think I put it up for somewhere around $13. Looks like it goes for around 15, but if I can get 13 for my copy, which is a really good nick, then I'd be happy with that. Somebody gets a bit of a bargain, and it means that hopefully mine is the first one to go. Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe. This is one that I did have at one stage on the 360, but I don't anymore. A good game from what I can remember, but again, I don't have a PlayStation 3, so no point in keeping that. $2 as well. That one doesn't go for much. Goes for around $10, so I think I'll put that one up for around $8, and we'll see. Hopefully it goes somewhere around there. Again, somebody's got themselves a good deal on that one, and I get to get rid of it fairly quickly. Okay, picked this one up at a pawn shop, so Deus Ex Invisible War on the Xbox, and I don't know if this one's any good or not. When you read the reviews, it says that some of them say that it's terrible, and some say that it's good, and some say that it's average, so not sure. But it did come complete, and it was $10, which is a pretty good price for that one. That one's going up, so it used to be that you saw this one all the time on eBay for $10, even less, and I didn't pick it up back in the day because it was one of those ones that, you know, grab it whenever, don't need to grab it right now. But then it started climbing, so on eBay at the moment I think it's around 20 in Australia, $20. So to get it for around half price, which I assume, because everything else seemed very close to eBay price at this pawn shop, so I assume the person who, or the people who run the store didn't know that this one was going up, so that was good for me. Well, I got lucky with all 4 of these next ones. So things that have been selling recently have been going into these and a few of the other things that I'll show you coming up. This is Stalker, Shadow of Chernobyl. It is a game that hasn't been ported to any consoles before, so it's one that I have been interested in ages. It's always been one of those intriguing games that, because it's on nothing else, and because it gets good reviews, it's been one that I've been wanting to play but never had the opportunity to have a go at it. So this is another one that is going up in price. If, like myself, if you've been kind of putting this one off and it's one that you want to get, then you probably should look at getting it pretty soon. I think because it's been announced that it could be one that's made for either the PlayStation 4 or the PlayStation 5 or the Xbox Series X. They're talking about making another game in the series for this. Because of that, I think people are grabbing these up. So Stalker, Shadow of Chernobyl is the first game, and it has always been online for around $10. Recently, again, this one, like the one that I showed you before, it is now going for around $20, and the sequels are even more than that. There are 2 sequels, so there's this first one, and there's one prequel and a sequel. So there's 2 after this. And when this one was listed on eBay, it wasn't a good listing. It didn't show much in the way of photos, only the front cover, and it didn't talk much about what was in it, because I know you need a CD key to be able to play it. It didn't say whether it had the manual. I took a chance because it looked like it was complete, as in it said that it comes with everything, or it said something about it coming with everything it needs to play. So I assumed it had the CD key, and I was surprised when it came. It had the wrong postage on it, so because of its weight, it should have been a $3.30 postage price, and it came with $2.20. So I'm not sure if the person will receive a fine for that. I'm hoping not, a postage fine. That's happened to me in the past when you weighed them wrong. But when it came with the original Stalker and the manual, so got that complete, which I was happy with. But then I don't think the person who sold it realised what these were. So it also has Stalker Clear Sky, which is the game after the first. So this is the second game. I think this one might be the prequel. It's got the CD key with it and the manual and the disc. So essentially that's, even though it doesn't come with the insert for the case, essentially I get 2 games for the price of 1 there. And I'm happy with that, just sitting in the case for the first game as 1 package. So there I've got the first and the second game. I don't need the extra cover. I'm happy with it like that. So I'm looking out for the 3rd game in the series, just because I'm assuming that it's going to go up, and I'll try and grab a good price with that. There's not many of the 3rd game on the internet that I can find on eBay, so we'll see how we go with that. This is a game that I had played through it, sold it off when it was still worth a fair bit, when it was new, and then when I decided to get it back recently, again, one that used to be cheap and now is going up in price. This one is around the $20 mark. It is the Chronicles of Riddick Assault on Dark Athena for the Xbox 360, but it has an updated version of the original Xbox Escape from Butcher Bay Riddick game on it, which is really good as well. So, they're both really good games. They mix a bit of stealth with action and a bit of almost puzzle-like gameplay in a first-person shooter to try and get through a bunch of enemies that are there, and to be able to do that using the dark and using his different abilities. And it's pretty slow combat, but it's a good one. So pick that one up for $10, and again, this one was an eBay listing that wasn't very well listed. It just said it was complete. It didn't say too much other than that it was in good condition. When I got it, the disc is in almost new condition, and the whole lot's actually in almost new condition. So to get that one for $10, and it looked like it hadn't been up long, I jumped on that one straight away, knowing that most of them out there are a lot more expensive than $10 now. Forgot to mention, this one was also $10. They were $9.99. So for Riddick and for Stalker, $9.99. So to get the 2 games for $10, that was a bargain. This is one that I have had on my list of things that I've been interested in, and I've only just started playing my 3DS recently. It's a good one. I play it when putting one of my sons to bed. He takes a while to settle down, so able to play that one, and it kind of keeps me awake as well. So after a whole day with the kids, you're buggered and ready to sleep yourself. So I've been playing the 3DS Professor Layton and the Miracle Mask, and I thought I'd like a game to play after that. So I've got Virtue's Last Reward, which is part of the Zero Escape series. Haven't played the other 2 games in the series. One's $9.99 on the DS, and I think there's one after this as well on the 3DS. But the sequel on the 3DS did not come out in PAL territory, so Australian territory and the UK. So essentially you'd need a modded 3DS to play it, or you would need an American 3DS to play it. So didn't go for that one. I won't be getting that one. I'm not going to spend that much money to play one game, but happy to grab this one. It is another one that is jumping up in price, which is why I got it now. It used to be around $35, and now it's around $50. And I imagine it will probably climb from there as well, especially now that they don't make any more 3DS consoles. So I'm guessing the games will stop production as well. So this one I managed to get for $30. It came up, was it $30? It was somewhere around $30. I'm not sure if that was auction or buy it now, but yeah, around $30 for that one was a good price to pay for that. This one popped up. It had on eBay again, it had a generic picture, so it wasn't a photo of this front cover, it was just a stock photo, and it was from the Gameroom, which is a big store in Sydney, I believe, but it's not, I don't think it's like a franchise. I think they've just got the one big store. I could be wrong about that, but I think that's the case. And this one used to be a $15 game, so Resident Evil Revelations on the 3DS used to be around a $15 game, and it's rising as well. So another 3DS game to play. Came with a stock photo, and I thought I'd give it a go because it was $10. I think that's the only reason that it was sitting up there, is because they didn't take the photos of it. It didn't come with the manual, but for $10 for the case and the game, I was happy with that. Alright, that's it for games. So the rest of these are music pickups, so I'll go through them quickly because I know that when I'm watching I prefer to see the game stuff, so I'm guessing most of you guys who are watching, if there's people out there watching, are more interested in that as well. So let's go through this and I'll just tell you a little bit about it. From the op shops, I managed to pick up Spinal Tap. Well, I guess it's almost like a soundtrack, but it's just the songs from the pretend band Spinal Tap. It was in good condition. I liked the movie. I thought the songs would be good on CD. They sound like crap on CD, so I'm going to try and sell that one off. I put it up for $10 online. We'll see what comes of that. If it doesn't sell, it was only $2, so it's not much of a loss. Real Big Fish, Why Did They Rock So Hard? One of those albums that I used to listen to all the time when I was younger, and to grab it again, well, to be able to get a copy of that one for $2, that was a bit of a no-brainer for me, even though it's pretty dated music. It's still a bit of a nostalgic one to grab. $2. That is, Real Big Fish is actually I went to see these, I saw these guys at a Melbourne Soundwave Festival. They had an outdoor mosh pit in the sun, and it is the only time I have ever been had heat stroke. Was when moshing in the mosh pit with Real Big Fish. Yeah, really just seized up, everything seized up. I feel like you're going to pass out. It was horrible, and I haven't had it since. Now that I think once you've had it once, you really don't want it again. Heat stroke, it was pretty horrible. So, just a little tidbit. Behind Crimson Eyes, these were a band that I think I've seen live back in the day. They are on the Boomtown record label, or were on the Boomtown record label. I'm sure they're not a band anymore. And Horsell Common were the band that I really liked on Boomtown, but I I knew a few of the songs of Behind Crimson Eyes. I saw both CDs there. This one's Scream Out Your Name to the Night, and this one is just self-titled. It's an album. This one's a compilation of EPs, and definitely this is heaps better than this. They must have went from their EPs where they were a bit of a heavier band and then went for a more commercial sound, and that is much better than that. $2 a piece, that was a good little pickup there. CD Rancid, Rancid and Out Come the Wolves. This is one of those CDs that I only knew a couple of songs off, but it's one that you would hear people talking about all the time. So I thought I'd give it a go for $2. I know a bit of Rancid stuff, but only really their singles. And I know Tim Armstrong's stuff and Lars Fredriksson, his solo stuff. Tim Armstrong is in a bunch of other things that I've listened to as well. But for $2, yeah, that's okay. It's not I had to listen to it. It's not an amazing CD. I think it might be a bit overrated. Alright, got some vinyl pickups. I had a bunch of vinyl that was sitting around and that I had picked up and thought I'd like and didn't. And so I went to the Carrara markets and went to the record store there just to put those in and see what I could get. I had a whole bunch, and it's one of those things where you could make a lot more money if you sold it by yourself, but you go through the hassle of doing that. And to post out an LP or a vinyl record, knowing that it's going to somebody who likes to listen to records, you run the risk of listing it wrong, having it get damaged on the way there. So I just thought I'd take them in and see what I could get. So I got $20 worth of store credit, and when I went around to see what I could get, I found Creedence, so Creedence Clearwater Revival Bayou Country. It does have a pretty nasty little spot on it. You could probably see it from there. But I asked the guy there if he could remember if it plays through, and he said he thought it did play through that, and if not, you could bring it back. So I grabbed that one. He had it listed for $16 because of the damage, and it does. It plays straight through that damage, and you can hardly hear it. So hardly hear the damage, that is. So that was a great little pickup for $16 for that one. I've got a Sherbet, Australian, almost, I guess they're pretty poppy. They're like a glam band almost, but Sherbet with Del Braithwaite, who I only just found out that he started there and then went on to his solo stuff. I've got his Sherbet's Best Of, but it didn't have the song How's That. So to grab the record, it's the whole record, the whole album with a bunch of different songs on there. But the other one that I wanted this one for was How's That? And that one was $16 and this one was $8. And he said, oh, don't worry about the extra. So for the $24 of store credit for a few different albums, that was pretty good. I went out to the op shops and things. One of the on a day where I had a couple hours free and didn't find anything except for this one, the Beach Boys 20 Golden Grapes. Somebody stuck their little newspaper piece on there from 1988. I'm not a big fan of the Beach Boys, but I thought for $2 I'll grab that one, and if I don't end up using it, it can go towards something. I can hopefully take it in and trade it for a little bit of store credit or something, because I know their Beach Boys are pretty popular. So that was okay. These two went to local market, had a heap of records there and a heap of different CDs. Didn't find anything that I particularly wanted, but Billy Joel was there. Turnstiles, that was $10 for a really good copy of that. Got a couple of good songs on it, worth the $10. I've got most of his really good albums, so for $10 that was not bad. And then I found Creedence Clearwater Revival Pendulum. It's a pretty good copy as well. The sleeve I don't really care about, but it's pretty worn, but the actual record itself is not very worn. And it was $20. Online, if you wanted to buy that one off eBay, it's about a $40 record. So for $20, that was pretty good. And the last thing that I've grabbed with a bit of that different eBay money was a new copy of Creedence Clearwater Revival's Cosmos Factory. So you can see I've already got a version of that. Milo! My son, who was 3 at the time, got a hold of this one and really scratched it to pieces on both sides. Before, I used to have the setup out in a garage, and before I realised that he had it, he had put it on the concrete floor and scraped that one on both sides, and it's toast. So it's a shame that that one can't be used. These things happen, especially when you have kids. They're always into it, and when you want them, we're very much about having the kids play in the game space and it being theirs as well. So it's not just an adult game room or one of those things that's off limits. It's for the whole family. So accidents happen, and I had been looking for a new copy of this, or a replacement copy, for a fairly long time, about 6 months, not solidly looking, but I'd been keeping my eye out for about 6 months, and it was $24, which is a pretty good price. Pretty good price for that one. And I think I got it. I'm not sure if this one was a fixed price listing or if it was auction, but happy to get that one. Again, these pickups are only for fun. I don't get serious. I'm not serious about this record collecting. It has to be in any particular shape. As long as it plays, it's good. Don't know the difference between the different covers or releases. This one says that it's a Liberty release, and this one says that it is a Fantasy release, but then it has a Liberty, Fantasy on the front, Liberty on the back. I don't know. Not really in it for monetary gains, more just for being able to use it and listen to the music, and for the boys to have a play when they want to have a go as well, and just there's a bit of a novelty when people come around. It's a bit of fun as well. So it's good to get a replacement for that. Right, that's it. I think I'll run these the same way all the time. When I have pickups, it will be games first, then music next. So those people who want to tune out can tune out at that point. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time in the game room. Boy, he's a good boy. Yeah.